There are some stories so powerful. They remind us what it means to be human. They remind us why we began teaching to begin with. Frederick Douglass was born enslaved in 1818 on Maryland's eastern shore. He never knew his birthday. He grew up under the shadow of ownership, where life was not his own. For a child, that meant despair. No family to rely on, no control of the future, no reason to believe that tomorrow would be any different than today. Every teacher has seen this too. Hardship, instability, shame, rejection. Not slavery, but silent chains that bind a child's heart. These hardships whisper, sometimes shout to these children. You are powerless. You cannot rise. There is nothing in you worth saving. But deep inside, the spark waits for someone to blow on it. When Douglas was 8 years old, he was sent to Baltimore to live with the Auld family. Sophia Auld, his master's wife, began to teach him the letters of the alphabet. Oh, but when her husband saw it, he stopped her immediately. He said, "If you teach that boy to read, it will forever unfit him to be a slave." Ironically, that warning revealed the truth, because from that moment, Douglas said, I understood the pathway from slavery to freedom. The revelation of knowledge lit a fire within him that could not be undone. And so he began to learn in secret, trading bread with poor white children in the street for scraps of instruction. He would copy letters on the fences and wooden boards in the neighborhood. He would practice writing words in the dirt. He chased literacy not for leisure, but for liberation. Every teacher has seen that spark. It's the aha moment. It's why we do what we do. A child who catches a glimpse of the possibility, who leans in, not because they have to, because they want to. Once that spark lights, there's no putting it out. So here's a governing principle. Knowledge pursued with conviction transforms despair into destiny. For Douglas, reading was more than a skill, it was a salvation. Through words, he found meaning. Through meaning, he found voice. And through voice, he found freedom. He began to read scripture, and for the first time, he understood what liberation truly meant. He studied speeches, essays, newspapers. He started to write, to express, to protest, to become who he was always meant to be. Knowledge gave him what no one could take away. Hope through words, faith through learning, purpose through understanding. Each word mastered was a strike against despair. Each page turned, a step toward destiny. Keep watching, I'm not done yet. Admin, teachers, coaches, parents, the message is clear. Never underestimate the power of learning. For one, it may be reading. For another, music. For another, math. Whatever form it takes, when a child owns the knowledge, despair loses its hold. When they understand, they can imagine. When they can imagine, they can create. That is a key step on the road of freedom. So ask yourself, what hungers in the mind of my children that I'm leading? How can you feed those hungers, even in small, quiet, hidden ways? A question here, an insight there. Douglas's life reminds us that children don't just need protection, they need purpose. They need a reason to rise. Our role isn't to write their destiny, it's to hand them the tools to discover it. If you want to explore how principles like these can transform classrooms and leadership, pre-order my new book, Order Over Chaos for Teachers: How to Create a Classroom Environment Where Everyone Can Thrive. Now available at classroomflow.us. Because when we light the flame of understanding in a child, we don't just teach, we set them free. Be blessed.